What if there was a safe space for you to explore artificial intelligence? What if there was a team of friendly professionals waiting to help you examine what you can do with AI in your courses? Welcome to the world of what if.
Hello everyone, welcome to our playground for today. My name is Alex, I'm the project coordinator here at COSI, and today I'm going to be talking about how we can reimagine student introduction assignments with AI. But before we get into the student introductions, here's a little bit about me, a little bit about Alexandra. You can call me Alex for short. I am a creative media enthusiast, aka a video editor. I have played the piano for over 10 years, a very talented musician. I'm native to South Florida, born and raised in Broward. I completed my Bachelor's of Science in Agricultural Education and Communication from the University of Florida. We'll call that degree AEC for short because it is quite a mouthful. And I love cats. When I was pursuing my undergraduate degree at the University of Florida, that was around the 2018 time, I took a few online classes. And for those of you who have taken an online class or teach an online class, this might be a little nostalgic. You might remember doing a student introduction post to get to know your class and instructor. 2018 me, it would go a little bit something like this. Hi class, my name is Alex. I was born and raised in South Florida and in my first year of the AEC program. A fun fact about me, I'm a classical pianist and I love cats. I'm interested in learning more about science communication in this class. Looking forward to the semester. Again, a little bit nostalgic for maybe many of you, it might be on brand. This is what, the assignment would kind of look like provided from the instructor side. The purpose, to help you get to know your classmates and begin building a sense of community in our online course. Some instructions. Create a new discussion post and introduce yourself to the class. You may include your preferred name, where you're from, your major, what you hope to learn in this course, and any fun facts you wish to include. And again, there's nothing wrong at all with this assignment and instructions. If anything, the instructions are very clear and concise. They tell the student exactly how to complete this assignment to get the full points and to fulfill this purpose. But wait, we are not in 2018. We are in 2025. And in 2025, we now have artificial intelligence. How can we, look at this student introduction assignment that I would say almost every single class I've taken or I've worked on includes some aspect of it, like a discussion post. This is a very common thing. So how can we make it better? There's nothing wrong with this, but how do we spice it up a little bit? We're going to enhance it using AI. So the enhancements are in pink, but for those of you who have difficulty seeing the pink, they're also underlined. So it's the same instructions as before on the previous slide, but I'll just read aloud the inclusions for the AI element. Also, please include an AI element in your post. You may use an AI tool of your choice to generate a stylized written version of your post, or create a personalized visual element, or any other creative medium that represents a unique aspect of you. Be creative. I have provided some ideas and samples below. This is a great start because not only are you letting the student, be creative, have free reign, there's no real wrong way to include AI in here. So we're gonna start off very easy. This is a text-based AI-inspired idea. So remember, take the same, discussion post that I showed you guys earlier. I threw it into ChatGPT and AI, and then just said, hey, rewrite this into a social media post, include emojis, include slang, include hashtags, as if I am a Gen Z posting this on social media. So this is what it came out with. Hey y'all, I'm Alex, reppin' South Florida. First year in the AEC game, little fun fact, I'm a classical pianist. Yeah, I got range, LOL. And a total cat person. Super hyped to dive into the science comm stuff this semester. Let's get it. It has a bunch of emojis, a bunch of slang, whatever, that means, I don't even know. A bunch of hashtags, very on brand for a social media post. This is great. This is definitely a big step up from the original discussion post. But we don't have to stop here. These are visual AI inspired ideas. So option 1, we have an AI Blister pack doll. These were super trendy on social media. If you guys are big on like LinkedIn or like Facebook, like this has been all over the internet recently. Option 2 is a funny comic. Option 3 is an 18th century painted portrait. Option 4, we have a realistic picture collage generation. And option 5 is like the same thing except in a cartoon style. So let's get right into it. This is the AI Blister pack doll. That's, what it kind of looks like. Some ideas. This is the prompt. And for those of you online and in person, I've provided a PDF of these prompts so you can kind of copy and paste and like try it yourself. Also, we've shared the presentation so you can follow the instructions along as well. But here's the prompt. Make an image of a 3D action figure toy named Alex Giang. And again, just a quick break. The bold, like the pinks, the underline and the pink sections, replace with, your personal, whatever you want to swap out with here. So I've called my doll Alex Giang, that's my name. It should be displayed in a transparent plastic package, blister packaging model. The figure is a 25-year-old petite Southeast Asian woman with mid-length straight black hair. On top of the packaging, there is large writing, Alex Giang in white text, then below it, Office Gen Z slang expert. Dressed in fluffy pink pajamas. Also, add some supporting items for the job next to the figure, like a cute cream-colored cat, boba tea, and a miniature piano. The packaging design is minimalistic, cardboard color, cute toy style sold in stores, and the style is cartoonish, cute, but still neat. And again, just swap these out for whatever you would like. You can make it look like yourself, or you can make it not, whatever you, and then ChatGPT specifically, but I know a lot of the newer AI models are much better now with the updates about being consistent with text. So you can put your name and it will spit it out like literally with your name. It's been pretty good with that with the new updates. So that's option 1. Option 2 is the funny comic. I've left this prompt pretty broad, as you can see. So it says, generate a funny comic strip, 1 or 2 panels about something related to the online student experience. The main character should be a Southeast Asian girl with straight mid-length black hair. And this comic is, it speaks to being too comfortable taking an online class. Sometimes you're at home, get a little bit too comfortable. That's just part of the experience. But yeah, I left this kind of broad, but if you want to do something more specific to your own experience, like, wow, I really want to make a comic about how every time I join a Teams or Zoom call, I always forget to unmute before I start talking. You can specify here, replace the underlined or pink sections with that. And if you have any specific texts or lines, just throw them in here too. And the AI should be pretty good about being accurate with the inputs. Just a note for this, I did have to regenerate this one twice because in the first generation, the image was like cut off on the top and the bottom. But that's okay, just ask it to do it again and it came out very clean the second time around. The third one, we have the 18th century painted portrait. I think this is like my idea because I haven't seen this anywhere on the internet yet, so maybe I'm going to be starting a new trend here. Generate an image of a young 25-year-old Southeast Asian girl in 18th century painted portrait style. Give her a beautiful dress and outfit. Include a fluffy cream-colored boy cat, her loyal companion. The woman should have long straight black hair and subtle Asian features. Include a gold frame typical of an 18th century painted portrait. I thought that generation was pretty cool. But again, you can switch this out for whatever, you can make it look like you or someone else, up to your preference. If you don't want to dress, that's cool too. You can change the outfit to something from whatever people in the 18th century wear that's like on par for back then. You don't have to have an animal, but if you're a pet person, you can put a dog there, that's cool too. But I think the important inclusion of this prompt is the gold frame. You don't have to pick gold, but I think that really just adds to the aesthetic. So that was a lot. I'm going to take a quick demo break before we wrap up, with the other images. We're gonna hop into ChatGPT. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to copy and paste the prompts, make some edits, and generate an image really quick. This is the PDF, I've provided you guys for this playground. How about we choose the AI Blister pack prompt? I'm just gonna copy and paste from here. I have ChatGPT ready. I'm gonna throw it in. I'm gonna make some minor revisions. I'm gonna give myself pink hair instead of black hair. Pink hair. I'm gonna change my title to cat lover lady, maybe? Cat lover lady. I like the pink pajamas. And I think I'm gonna keep everything else the same, and we're gonna go ahead and generate this. It's gonna say getting started. Let's give it a minute. We'll come back to this while it's generating. So in our previous image generations, it was kind of, depicting a face about me. It kind of represented what I looked like. And that's already a great start. But if you guys remember, this was, more about me. Let's try to include more of these elements into the picture instead of just kind of representing what I may look like. So you can see here, I have these bullet points. In this prompt, I've tried to include all the bullet points that I've mentioned, just to make it a little bit more interesting. The prompt here reads, generate an image collage showing a 25-year-old Southeast Asian girl taking a picture of a cat on the beach, on the Florida beach, playing the piano. The girl is riding an alligator. So I've tried to, include a lot of my interests from this slide. The camera's there, the cat's there, the piano's there, the beach, and the alligator from my alma mater. So I think it did a great job, making things turn out in a very funny way. Here is a cartoon version. It's the same initial prompt, but at the very end, I just said, make it a 2D cartoon style. And I think this was even cuter. This is pretty nice. It's finished. Okay. This is what it looks like. Pretty good, if I don't say so myself. The pink hair is there, the pink pajamas, the little piano, the boba, and the cat. So again, this was, what we've been generating to add to our discussion post. This is what I would put if I was an online student back again, and my professor for the class said, hey, add some AI into your discussion. This is probably the first thing that I would start off with. A funny social media post with some either real or made up hashtags. This is a very entry level, easy to get into AI start. It could look like this, but it could also look like this. This is the AI doll. Again, it's the same discussion post from earlier, but at the very bottom, I've said, here is what I would look like as a blister pack toy, just to say where this came from. So obviously I didn't draw it myself. Or it could look like this. Here's a funny comic about being too comfortable at home in my online class. Or it could look like this. Here is what I would look like in an 18th century painted portrait with my cat. Or here is an AI-generated realistic collage featuring me and my interests. And then the last one I've demoed today, here is an AI-generated 2D cartoon collage featuring me and my interests. So it's definitely more eye-catching, easier to connect to people, easier to see their sense of humor and personality just from the text, but now I've got some visual elements to really enhance it. And just to wrap up, a lot of talk about AI in the classroom is about plagiarism and, cheating and everything. But, to put it bluntly, it is impossible to cheat on a student introduction assignment. AI is an important tool that we should be including in our curriculum because people will be using it in the modern day workforce. And why not start off super low level to get them comfortable with being super creative? It's very hard to not score the points that you're supposed to on a student introduction assignment, and it's such an easy way to be creative. I know I've demoed some text-based and visual-based AI additives to the assignment, but there's also music like song generators. You can create a song about your interests, and there's a whole bunch of things. So we have a question online.
Hi, Alex. If I use the prompt, not in ChatGPT but other AI, let's say Copilot or Midjourney, will I get the same type of images, or will there be some variation between them?
You can expect some variation between the different AI tools that you use. Even with ChatGPT, like if I were to throw it in 5 times, it would come out slightly different every time. But definitely tweak the prompt and attempt regenerating until you get what you like. If you have any like challenges with getting it to do specifically what you want, go ahead and ask ChatGPT or the AI that you're using too. Like, hey, I would really like all the items on like the AI Blister pack doll to be aligned to the right. How can I make sure that in the prompt, I'm specifying that everything is aligned to the right? So definitely, come visit us. You can ask the AI. There are a lot of resources online, but I think it's all about being specific in the prompt. You should be able to get the similar result with any AI tool that you want to use, though. We have a question in the room.
Hi, Alex. How do you introduce the AI? Do you tell them which platforms to use to create it? Do you give them suggestions on how to get there?
Yeah, I love ChatGPT, but Copilot, like any free tool, is a great start. I know Florida Atlantic has a list of AI recommended resources as well that you can reference in this assignment to introduce students to recommended uses. But leaving it open-ended is definitely the way to go. Of course, give recommendations, but the more open you leave it, the more they can just go in and explore what works for them, what doesn't, what they prefer. So definitely recommendations are good, because if the student has never even touched AI, it's like, where do I even begin? But I think Florida Atlantic has a very good comprehensive list of resources, like a website that we can throw into there for them to reference.